I am doing less in 2026, not more, less. But I plan on making a lot more money, growing faster than I have previously, and actually taking time off for a change. If you're an adult creator who feels like you're working nonstop just to keep up, stick with me because I think this year is all about doing less, but earning more. And I'm going to show you exactly how I plan on doing that in the year 2026. The adult creator space is actually changing a lot. It's more crowded, fans expect a lot more connection than they previously did, and platforms push short-form video, so as a result, burnout is at an all-time high. If you are trying to grow more by doing more content, more social, more things, you're also putting in more hours and just more of everything, you're likely on the fast track to quitting, burning out, or giving up. But 2026 creators who win will have one thing in common. At least I'm placing my bet that way. They will treat their brand like a business and not a time sink. This year is all about leverage, cleaner strategy, better systems, and high return on a lot less effort. Today, I'm going to break down my exact 2026 business strategy, and I'm going to give you my blueprint so you can copy it if you want it. Everything I'm going to say in this video is my opinions and predictions, so take that how you will. It's my own 2 cents. Let's start with the core idea, right? Doing less, which sounds fake, but it's not, because doing less doesn't mean you're doing nothing. It means you're eliminating the low value tasks and you're doubling down on the high value ones. Those are the ones that actually grow your business and move it forward. Now, there are 2 types of creator work, okay? There is the first type, which I'm going to categorize into one bucket, and the second type, which I'll categorize into another. The first bucket is the creator CEO kind of work, okay? And then the second bucket is the creator performer kind of work. So CEO work, in my opinion, is things like planning, strategy, things like funnels, reviewing data and analytics on a, recurrent basis. It's content planning, it's delegating, it's setting up systems and potentially automations. And that is kind of going to fall under that CEO tier or category of work. Then there is the performer work, right? There is the filming, the photos, the video, the shooting, just generally. Then there is the scheduling or the editing, the posting. Then there's the chatting with fans, connecting with fans, trying to engage them and monetize them and upsell them. Now, if you are stuck or finding yourself constantly doing just performer work, you're never going to grow in any meaningful way. You won't be able to scale your adult brand. But if you shift even 20% into your CEO work, everything's going to change. And the reason that happens is because you're going to get higher leverage, which gets you higher value results. You don't need more content. You need higher leverage on the content you're making. You need systems, you need predictability. All of these things probably sound familiar because we talk about them a lot on this channel. The highest leverage things that creators in 2026 are likely going to be doing is short form video, automated captions, and utilizing AI for scripts and things of that nature. They're going to have funnels, they're going to batch plan, and they're going to have cross-platform visibility. They're going to behave in ways where they utilize content recycling. They're going to plan and execute on collaborations. And then they're going to build an evergreen vault of content. Now, when you do those things right, you can literally post less, but earn more. And that is exactly the goal we are aiming for this year. It is going to be the biggest shift you will see in me in 2026. Short form video is the main engine of your creator business now, especially after age verification policy in the US. So think TikTok, IG Reels, YouTube Shorts, videos on X in a vertical format. This year, I am going to go very, very hard with short form video for 2 reasons. One, it is the cheapest and fastest way to completely reach new audiences you wouldn't alternatively be exposed to. And 2, it feeds my sales funnel automatically. Now, there is a cascade strategy at play here, right? So this is the approach. Social media research to find the reels that are performing, the outliers. You're gonna notice that they're outliers because they perform well already for someone online. Then you're gonna add that to your list and recreate it in your own way. This is my game plan. Then I'm gonna post them across all of my platforms. So if something performs well on my platforms, I will then recreate it again and I will post it again. That means it is a proven win already, and I should just continue to do that kind of content. That is how you grow on social media exponentially without having to kill yourself trying to recreate that wheel every single time. And don't get me wrong, at first, yes, you will be throwing things at the wall, right, to see what's actually gonna stick. But once you find a few things or a few frameworks of content that work, you should stick with them and then just keep doubling down and making more of it, variations of it, because you know it works for your brand. Now, I'm also gonna have kind of a 3 niche approach. So in 2026, I'm personally focusing heavily on 3 relatable niches. For me, it's gonna be country life because that's the aesthetic I live in, that's my life. Then there's gonna be story times, and then safe for work lifestyle stuff that leads fans toward my adult content without risking my IG or my social platforms with deletion, right? So safe for work, lifestyle that will funnel towards a sale. Now, every niche is designed to bring me access to a different audience. Different audience means more volume into your funnel. And more funnel volume means more conversions on your adult platform. So this is why niching outward is a profitable move and on social media specifically. And also niching down. So I've niched down because I only have these 3 specific niches, but I have 3 niches, so the funnel is wider. Now, this part is huge. Creators don't ever plan time off, at least myself, I'll speak for myself. I've never planned time off or vacations, which means I literally never take any. Or the weeks will just disappear and the income drops if I do take time off, usually unexpectedly. So in 2026, to fix this, I'm going to attack it once and for all. So I'm going to plan time off seasonally. So I'm scheduling breaks every so often throughout the year, right? So whether that's like a mini trip or a mini holiday or a mental health break or a proper go away vacation, either way, I'm going to plan them into my business for a change. So what that will consist of is not just planning the time off on my calendar, but also batching, editing, scheduling everything in advance before I go. Social media content, adult content, all of it. And I'll have a content vault of evergreen content pieces that already exist and are ready at all times that I can use to monetize in DMs while I'm on my time off or leading up to that. So what I mean by an evergreen vault, this is things like evergreen content for fully produced like explicit videos, right? And sexting sets that you can use in DMs. So this way, when I'm offline, my business doesn't have to be. So evergreen content in the vault, this is like your full 10, 15-minute videos, highly produced. Your sexting drips that you have batched, this is what you'll use during sexting sessions. So every creator, I think, should have like 20 to 40 backup posts scheduled for the feed. This is like spicy teaser stuff where you're not giving it all away, but it'll keep your fan site updating while you're on that break or vacation. So getting those created and stored and scheduled in queue, right? Then I would suggest like 50 audio messages pre-recorded in a library. So common things that you would pre-record that you can use in DMs with fans when you're going back and forth with them, right? So maybe in moments when you're in public and you can't record something with an audio, you can have this audio library of content ready to use in DMs. And by the way, how I did this was I went to GPTs.ai, our AI product that we made here at SWCEO, and I prompted it with this exact prompt. So I'm gonna give it to you so you can use it. This is how I built out the audio library. So the prompt is, behave as a human psychology expert that deeply understands how to build strong parasocial connections. I am a content creator who has a subscription fan site, where my fans and followers can write me in DMs and communicate with me. I want to come up with pre-recorded audio library scripts of general things I might say to fans in response to their messages that I can have at the ready to use in DMs. Things that build connection, make fans feel seen, but are general audio messages I could have at the ready to use across a wide variety of conversations. I need a massive list of all the things that could be useful to have on hand in a recorded audio message that I could send to fans so they hear my voice and buy in more deeply that they're speaking with me in DMs in real time. These messages should be incredibly general, so no matter what the fan is discussing with me or talking about, I can have something to reply with in a pre-recorded audio message in this library that I'm building. A very simple example of this would be an audio saying yes babe or no babe, and a longer example of this might be, no babe, I totally understand where you're coming from with that. Can you help me come up with a list of 50 things, scripts, that I should record and add to my audio library that will help me accomplish this goal? So that is the prompt, and then GPTs will instantly help you script out all of these audios that you can then pre-record and have at the ready in an audio library. I do this on Telegram. I have a Telegram channel that's set to private. I record all these audio messages into it, and then I can search them, find them, and use them in DMs whenever I need to. Then that brings us to preparing, I would say, 3 PPV scripts. So PPV scripts are basically scripts that you have pre-written and that you can use and modify to guide sexting sessions. So I suggest having a PPV sexting script that is vanilla, and then having a Dom type one, and then having a niche one that's like something you're known for. So for me, that's gonna be like a JOI sexting script. And if you wanted to also prompt GPTs.ai for that, here's the prompt that I would use, or I have used. Behave as a human psychology expert who deeply understands how to build strong parasocial connections. I am a content creator who has a subscription fan site where my fans and followers can write me in DMs and communicate with me. I want to come up with a pre-scripted sexting script that I can use with fans in DMs to take a regular conversation and heat it up and make it flirty and build anticipation with the fan, and then turn it into a steamy sexting session that feels authentic and real time. Use sales psychology to manipulate, guide, and escalate the conversation in a subtle but effective way. The full sexting script should be broken down into 25 messages being sent from my end to the user, and then should be written in a way that it almost doesn't matter what the user would possibly reply to my last message. Somehow, the next message could account for whatever reply they may have said and still contextually make sense and guide the experience forward. The first sexting script should be built around the fantasy that I'm, insert your scene here, at home. We'll do this example. At home, bored in my bed, looking for some fun with a fan who happens to be online. That I'm horny and want to touch myself to them as if it's their hands on my body. And that's it. That would be the prompt. And then GPTs would give you a bunch of single scripts, 25 of them, that you can even use and modify slightly during whatever sexting sessions you are doing with a fan to guide the DM into a sexting session you can monetize with PPV unlocks, so on and so forth. Having those 3 things ready, those pre-drafted scripts, can make PPV messaging easier while still being really strategic and effective when you're taking time off, because you can just go in there, run a script, and get back to your vacation, right? Now, I'd also suggest having 15 filler reels in your drafts ready to go so you can still be posting to social or schedule them out so that they post while you're away. And then I would suggest a full month of captions written ahead for all your social media posts. Again, GPT's AI can help you with this task as well and simplify your life dramatically. So this is going to give you that breathing room, right? It's going to prevent the burnout, and it makes your fans feel as if you were never really gone. The page will run as it always has, updates will be happening, and you could just manage DMs really effectively but somewhat passively. Now, I want to talk about building a big funnel on social. So More social content, obviously, means more eyeballs, more exposure. And more eyes means more traffic to your link in bio. More traffic means more paying subscribers, more monetization. You get the idea. More subscribers means more PPV buyers. More PPV buyers means more upsells and DMs and high ticket things like customs, right? Simple funnel. But most creators have no strategy connecting those steps in the funnel. So I want you to think about it in terms of a funnel and picture it that way. And then I want you to diversify intentionally. So in 2026, I think creators should really rotate between their subscription fan site, the OnlyFans situation or a variation of the same thing. Also have some kind of free adult platform for discoverability. So something that is like a tube site, for example, Pornhub, Xvideos, things like that. I also think a creator should have a clip store. So this is maybe something you don't promote outwardly, but you can sell clips passively while you sleep because the clip stores have their own traffic internally. So any older library of content should go up on a clip store at a later date. Then I think you should have a fan-facing Telegram channel. So this is the closest thing you can have to owning your audience without an email list. So it's a place where you can have a broadcast channel and blast a message to all of your fans all at once, or because you're collecting them in that Telegram account, you can message your fans encrypted one-on-one, and that can be really useful as well. So why this is important? If you have them on Telegram, you can send broadcast messages about conferences you're attending, or if your social media gets deleted, you can tell them to go follow your new socials. Or you can send a broadcast message and say, hey, everyone go like that new reel or comment on that new thing I just posted. All super effective and a very good thing to have. Now, notice I didn't say be on everything, right? I'm trying to communicate that I want you to be on certain channels with a lot of purpose to the extent that you can execute on them effectively and sustainably. So let me quickly break down what I think most creators are overlooking, right? Personal brands scale because people follow people they relate to, people they feel are authentic, people that they can see themselves in. They don't follow bodies, So this is what makes story content really useful. Tell stories on social. It'll convert because people relate to people. Predictable routines is going to be really important. I don't want anyone overlooking that. It's going to build loyalty. So you need to post to a schedule. You need to stream to a schedule. You need to be predictable so your audience knows where and when they can look and find you. That also means they know when they can look, find you, and spend. So these things are very important. Then I want to touch on creator collaborations. Creators grow together when they collaborate because collaborations equal exposure. So make creator friendships, go to conferences, plan collaborations, and execute on them. Then another tip is going to be burner accounts on social for safety. Never rely on one platform, have backups on backups, and if you can post to multiple places at once consistently and effectively, definitely do that. If you can't, grow one channel at a time. And then data. I want you to look at your analytics weekly and monthly. Look for the outlier content that performs, especially on social, as well as on your clip stores and adult platforms. And then to focus more narrowly on that stuff and make more of it. Of course, I couldn't not say this, but AI integration is your competitive advantage. Whether you have mixed feelings about it or not, it's true. I made GPTs for a reason. It is absolutely there if you want to take advantage of it. So that is kind of my creator blueprint and strategy going into 2026. It is to do a lot less, but to have a lot more. I'm going to build better systems, plan my time off. I'm going to build a massive sales funnel, so that all of my adult platforms can kind of grow traffic-wise on autopilot. I think that's really, really important to lock it on social in the age of age verification. If this helped, please hit that like button, subscribe, turn on the bell notifications so that you never miss a video, because it could be the one that helps you build your adult creator business like a real CEO. If you want to try integrating AI to help with some of that heavy lifting, you can head on over to gpts.ai or click the link in the description of this video. Because if you want to work smarter in 2026, now you have the playbook, and at least you have the one that I'll be using. I'll see you in the next video, CEO Squad. Thanks for watching.